记录一下第一次做无人驾驶的萝卜快跑。
来了，他来了，6677。
10公里3块9，不要买车了，真的。10公里3块9，不要买车了。
Taxi drivers in Wuhan are facing unprecedented pressure as driverless Luobo Kuaipao taxis rapidly rise, threatening their livelihoods. Drivers are petitioning the government, hoping to protect their jobs. Recently, Luobo Kuaipao in Wuhan surpassed 3 million orders in a month, swiftly capturing the taxi market with attractive prices and a pleasant riding experience. With increased future investments, traditional taxi drivers may face unemployment risks. Compared to traditional taxis, Luobo Kuaipao's advantages lie in eliminating labor costs, operating 24/7, offering cheaper fares, no refusals, and ensuring air-conditioned rides. However, some netizens worry whether prices will remain low once driverless taxis fully replace traditional ones and monopolize the market, a common concern with capital-driven initiatives.
还让不让我们活了？
Are we still going to survive? Are we going to let these impoverished folks not survive? Driverless vehicles have already been launched in Wuhan, directly disrupting the employment balance of Wuhan's ride-hailing services. Recently, many professions have quietly disappeared. Do you know? Thieves, for example, are no longer around. Now, ride-hailing drivers are also on the brink of extinction. With the emergence of driverless vehicles, do we still need so many drivers? A few days ago, I visited a technology park in Shenzhen. I didn't expect that within the technology park, all the street sweeping is done by robots. It's not just robots sweeping the streets, there are also unmanned buses, unmanned subways, and unmanned delivery services. Everything is moving towards automation. Perhaps the country sees that our generation is unwilling to have children, so they are rushing into automation, aren't they? What era is this? People who do physical labor might wake up the next day and find themselves out of work. So, I really hope everyone opens their eyes and sees what's happening in this world.
Luobo Kuaipao, a driverless ride-hailing service under Baidu, offers more affordable prices compared to traditional ride-hailing services. The cost for a 10 km trip is only 4 to 16 renminbi, much lower than the 18 to 30 renminbi charged by traditional services. On the other hand, traditional drivers are facing a drastic reduction in orders, or even no orders at all. According to data released by Hubei, Luobo Kuaipao reached a peak of over 20 orders per vehicle, with total orders in the Wuhan area surpassing 6 million. In comparison, taxi drivers only receive a dozen orders per day, highlighting how driverless taxis have surpassed traditional taxis.
我实名抵制无人网约出租车。
I am openly boycotting driverless ride-hailing services. The advent of driverless technology in many cities has undeniably placed immense pressure on us, the ride-hailing drivers. Driving for ride-hailing services is already an exhausting job, and in recent years, with increasing competition among platforms, prices have plummeted. We have to drive for 16 hours a day just to barely make ends meet. Enduring a bit of hardship is one thing, but the emergence of driverless vehicles has made our lives even more difficult. The invention of the steam engine starved the boatmen on the Volga River. Let's not let driverless technology become the last straw that breaks us.
The Ministry of Transport also responded to the issue of Luobo Kuaipao taking away the jobs of ride-hailing drivers. However, their response was rather artful. The ministry stated that currently, only over 400 vehicles have been deployed in Wuhan, not the rumored 1,000, and that the operation is relatively stable. They also noted that the order volume for driverless ride-hailing cars in Wuhan has significantly increased and that they are cheaper than traditional ride-hailing cars. The Wuhan market regulatory authorities also stated that the pricing of driverless ride-hailing cars falls under market-regulated prices and is not within the scope of government pricing, hence they have no authority to interfere. However, they did not mention anything about whether these driverless cars could take away the jobs of ride-hailing drivers. Recently, in Wuhan, Hubei, a netizen posted a video complaining about driverless taxis causing a traffic jam. During rush hour, 2 driverless ride-hailing cars suddenly stopped in the middle of the road, causing severe traffic congestion. When the traffic police arrived, they were also at a loss with the driverless cars and could only helplessly say, "Please move." However, the driverless taxis did not respond. Finally, the traffic police called customer service and personally got into the driver's seat to move the vehicles to the roadside. Customer service responded that in such situations, providing the vehicle information would allow them to handle it promptly and continuously optimize the vehicle technology. However, this is not the first time driverless cars have malfunctioned. Previously, netizens also recorded that a plastic bag on the ground could stop a driverless car from moving forward. If similar malfunctions cause traffic congestion and block ambulances or fire trucks, it would be a big problem.
Today, while taking the subway, I encountered that street sweeping robot again. Previously, this robot was always controlled by an uncle behind it, but recently I discovered that it can work by itself, with no one controlling it anymore. Today, I saw it sweeping the ground, constantly cleaning up small leaves and bamboo pieces in front of it. A few days ago, I also saw it mopping the floor, walking and mopping at the same time. Its level of intelligence is quite high. That day, when I saw it mopping, I noticed that it would walk in a circle, making sure every spot was mopped clean. After completing a circle, it would return to the places it hadn't mopped yet and continue working. The robot is very smart. When there are people in front of it, it will stop automatically and say, "I am working, please make way." I'm not sure how its program is set up, but I can't figure out its movement patterns. After turning from over there, it would turn again and go along the edge, where there is more debris. However, this robot seems to require frequent maintenance. I just saw 2 staff members constantly repairing it.
As ride-hailing drivers collectively complain about the emergence of driverless taxis, pleading with the government to give them a way out, little do they know that the progress of driverless technology in Meituan's delivery service next door is also accelerating. Nowadays, in Shenzhen, within minutes, you can see a Meituan car speeding down the road. Once Meituan's driverless technology matures and the entire delivery ecosystem is perfected, food delivery may also gradually be replaced. The machines that will replace a large number of delivery workers are tireless and cost less. In addition to Meituan's driverless delivery cars, there are also increasingly common driverless courier cars and street sweeping robots. Therefore, to avoid being eliminated, the best way is to keep learning and stay in step with the times.
Luobo Kuai-Pao driverless taxis, come to Chongqing now. Our drivers can't wait. We queue here every day, sometimes for half an hour or even longer, just for the starting fare of 10 yuan. 10 years ago, everyone thought 10 yuan for a taxi ride was normal, but now it seems expensive. Just 2 or 3 yuan for a few kilometers, cheaper than taking the bus. Come quickly, Chongqing needs you. After you come, we taxi drivers can finally go home and rest, right? A grown man spends an hour outside just to earn 10 yuan, barely covering costs, but can't afford not to work. In this hot weather, outdoor temperatures reach 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, and we suffer outside. After you come, we can finally go home and rest properly, spend time with our families. Some people can find other jobs, but those who can't will just stay home and go hungry.
这两天大家都在问我评论区，你对这个萝卜无人驾驶怎么看？
Everyone's been asking me these days, what do you think about this driverless radish? Who wouldn't know about it? Of course, I know, but I don't want to say much more about this topic. I've been operating ride-hailing cars for over 3 years, managing 2 vehicles. I bought my first car in February 2021 for 97,000 yuan and sold it at a loss of over 60,000 yuan by August 2022. When I bought the car, I spent 97,000 yuan. When I sold it, I only got 30,000 yuan. Later, I borrowed over 150,000 yuan to buy this electric car outright. At the beginning, due to the epidemic, I stopped working for 4 months. It was tough until 2023, with 8 months of good business in between, earning over 10,000 yuan each month. But from September last year, prices started to drop again. 1 month's turnover was only 8 or 9,000 yuan, sometimes only 5 or 6,000 yuan. There are wives and children at home. To be honest, it's really hard to endure. But I've always hoped that one day things would get better and the taxi fare would increase. What's the final result? Now driverless is about to appear. Who can compete with it? They've lowered prices so much, only 3 yuan for 6 kilometers, 5 yuan for 10 kilometers. Now the income from operating ride-hailing cars has dropped sharply. It's only 2 yuan per kilometer. Who can compete with them? Without technology, without culture, I originally chose to operate a ride-hailing car, but I didn't learn the technology or improve my knowledge and ability. Now faced with this situation, I really don't know what to do. How many ride-hailing drivers are there nationwide? Hundreds of thousands. Zhengzhou alone has 300,000 ride-hailing cars. I've been driving for more than a year. Many people are just buying cars now, just starting out. What are they going to do? I'm also helpless. I don't have any opinion on this situation now. If you can work, just keep working. If you can't, there's nothing you can do. Technology is advancing, and China is developing. This is an unstoppable trend. Sooner or later, we drivers will be eliminated.
Some taxi drivers angrily point out that while the government encourages people to have more children, it is also promoting automation technologies such as driverless taxis and unmanned delivery vehicles. If automation continues to be widely abused and replaces human labor, the vast lower-class population will face a dilemma of survival. Currently, the new generation of university graduates has begun their job search journey. However, the harsh reality of society is that the vast majority will face difficult employment situations. Some may have to work in factories to make ends meet, while others may turn to delivery jobs due to the loss of economic resources. Some may choose to return home and rely on their parents, because they cannot accept a lower social status. Moreover, due to the overall economic downturn, many factories are beginning to close down and numerous enterprises are laying off workers. As a result, more and more young people, including some graduates from prestigious universities, are forced to resort to jobs such as delivery drivers and taxi drivers. Do you know the main reasons behind this phenomenon? It is because various industries are constantly undergoing internal adjustments and cannot provide enough job opportunities. Therefore, delivery and taxi driving have become the last resort for many modern young people to survive. Yet now, society is beginning to promote automation technologies on a large scale, using driverless taxis, unmanned delivery vehicles, and automated courier vehicles to replace the employment positions of these lower-class citizens. Take delivery jobs as an example. This is already one of the lowest-level jobs in society. If these jobs are also replaced by automation, one wonders what other jobs these people can do. Currently, some individuals within the government system stand idly by, claiming that this is the inevitable trend of social development and a reflection of technological progress. But have you ever considered whether automation technology could possibly replace jobs within the government system, such as civil servants, bank accountants, lawyers, doctors, etc.? Technologically speaking, this is entirely feasible. It's not because the technology hasn't reached that level, but because these jobs are seen as stable positions within the system, and capitalists are unwilling to jeopardize these interests. Currently, the only ones being harvested are ordinary people, the livelihoods of the lower-class population in society,